Community and Business Engagement Institute, or CoBE is what we call it for short because it's easy to remember, is actually a student-led organization that helps students tie what they're learning in the classroom with real-life business consulting opportunities. They meet with real businesses and real entrepreneurs to do business consulting projects. And for a lot of students that sounds very intimidating because a lot of business students don't have business experience. But that's the whole point of this organization, is to allow students to get comfortable, meet with several different businesses, and get several different projects under their belt.
I want to be a part of the CoBE Institute because I want to have leverage when I graduate. By leverage, I mean I want to have real-world experience because a lot of employers want graduating college students to have experience in the field they're coming into.
The experiential learning, the hands-on learning, that's, the main benefit of CoBE, but also what we get through CoBE is networking. We get to build our resumes, we get to learn how to write a cover letter, and just things that, that we're not going to get in the classroom, and things that most students, when they graduate, have to learn on their own.
Probably the most interesting thing I find with students in CoBE is when they have that aha moment. When they go into a business and they interview the entrepreneur or they interview the business managers and they figure out that their problem that they have is one that they can solve. So, again, a lot of the businesses have the same problems. So when the students actually realize this, they get really excited. And I love that aha moment when they say, gosh, man, I could actually add value to this customer.
I think I'm just going to have so many connections and so many greater assets than other people would if they haven't joined CoBE, because I went to networking events as a freshman and I realized at a young age that if you walk up to a CEO, they're not just going to give you a job, So you just got to learn how to talk to people. You got to learn, I've learned how to write professionally. I've learned how to talk professionally.
The interpersonal relationship skills, just being able to talk to people, being able to read people, being able to just communicate the most effectively. I think that's one of the major skills that people should be working on, and developing that in CoBE is, it's fantastic. It's something that everyone needs in every profession you go into.
So we're doing a lot more collaborative work also, such as with the WallFellows or the American Marketing Association here on campus, to be able to bring other students in, because a lot of the value in graduating from business school is having that network of people that you can then capitalize on later in your career.
What is a lot of the things that are offered through CoBE is a lot of professional development activities like dining etiquette seminars, just for success kind of seminars kind of thing. And then with that, coupled with the chance to actually work hands-on experience using our knowledge that we've gained throughout our years at Coastal and being able to implement them in hands-on experiences is something that I really think that is the best thing I could take away from it.
CoBE has helped me more than anything else at Coastal has ever helped me, I think, just because it's hands-on. From the moment I got into CoBE, I was being trained on how to be a professional, and I was also being put on projects and working under a fellow who was also coaching me. Usually a senior associate is paired with a junior associate, and they help mentor them along, make sure that they're doing well in their projects, make sure that they're having that professional development as well.
There's no shortage of people that can go into the business industry and find problems. And so what we really lack are problem solvers. And ultimately my goal, and what I get the most satisfaction from, is turning out students that come through this program who can graduate, enter the workforce, and be problem solvers.
We here at the Dyer Institute for Leadership and Public Policy believe that individuals across the community, state, and nation can improve governance and solve public problems through mutual knowledge and understanding. And working together, that's the important piece. So first and foremost is our student engagement opportunity. That is really taken form with our Dyer Fellowship program. Secondly, we have our policy analysis and consulting initiatives where we are able to work with community members in nonprofits, state agencies. And finally, we have our data analytics initiative, which is really exciting because it gives students an opportunity to look at large data, unpack that data, understand what it means, and to see kind of the narrative that you can craft around those large data sets, which are usually quite intimidating.
Being selected as a Dyer Fellow was quite an honor. I was very surprised. The great part about it was I got to become closer with my professors. I was able to delve into my passion, which is environmental justice and sustainability, on a deeper level. I think I found out how to be a scholar.
Our Dyer Research Fellows also take a trip to Washington, D.C. in the spring, and they also travel to Columbia to visit policymakers and our legislative representatives, so that the students who are policy fellows are able to meet with all kinds of individuals that work in the area of policy in which they're interested and that they're studying.
I would definitely recommend anyone to apply to be a Dyer Fellow, because the experience alone is something that you just will not get anywhere else. One of my favorite parts, other than being published in the end, was the fact that I got to go to Washington, D.C. for free. That was one of the best experiences that I ever did.
I want my fellows to have a robust portfolio, not just of that academic work, but also to be able to write and communicate with various groups, either nonprofits, government officials, kind of the real people in the world that we all have to learn to work together to find solutions to public problems. So I really enjoyed the fact that the fellows took on topics that they were interested in, and that their skills that they developed here will actually be put to use after they graduate.
I just want to say thank you to the University, to Coastal Carolina, for giving me this opportunity to be a Dyer Fellow, because it really did impact my life. It really did give me a sense of pride and a deeper understanding of scholarship, and I just want to say thank you.
The Jackson Scholars Program is a selective 4-semester scholarship in leadership and ethics open to all coastal undergraduates. The program is designed to help students develop into effective, values-based leaders with a thorough understanding of theoretical and applied ethics and strong moral character. Over 2 years, Jackson Scholars take 4 courses in ethics: Introduction to Ethics, Contemporary Moral Issues, Ethical Theory, and finally, the Leadership Ethics Capstone. Most of these classes are taken as small group seminars open only to Jackson Scholars. This allows for intensive, high-level study and debate of topics and questions, and helps foster the bonds of community between the scholars. Every fall, the Jackson Scholars field a team for the Intercollegiate Ethics Bowl, a national debate competition in applied ethics. The scholars prepare and defend positions on case studies which raise difficult ethical questions about hot-button topics ranging from sexism and computer gaming to issues of whistleblowing, medical autonomy, and environmental conservation. Every spring, the scholars assist in the Center's After School Ethics Academy, a workshop in applied ethics and leadership training for outstanding local 6th grade students. The scholars also attend all of the Center's public lectures and debates, sometimes participating in them or choosing their topics. They also have opportunities to represent and serve the Coastal Carolina community through offices in student government, academic affairs committees, and student life organizations and programs such as the Dialogue Fellows. Scholars also receive pre-professional training on topics such as resume preparation, interview technique, and network building. Scholars are recognized at honors convocation and graduate with honors medals and bands. Scholars enjoy regular, full-funded travel opportunities. We visit DeLonga, Georgia each year for the Ethics Bowl competition, attend the annual College Ethics Symposium at Hilton Head, and offer trips to other ethics conferences and events around the region and country. Lastly, but perhaps most importantly, the Jackson Scholars form a tight-knit community which cuts across the usual social and academic disciplinary divisions in a university. Scholars form lasting relationships with one another around shared values and a passion for ethical advocacy, activism, and service. In the spirit of the Center, a spirit going back to its founders and the Jackson family patriarchs who inspired them, the Jackson Scholars are a family, bound together by shared values, affection, and respect. The Swain Scholars Program is a competitive scholarship program composed of selected undergraduate students from the public health, biochemistry, biology, exercise and sports science, and chemistry programs. The purpose of the Swain Scholars Program is for students to improve the health of our community through researching health-related issues and implementing community health programs. Each year, scholars share their research findings at the local and national level to enhance the health of community members in Horry County. Scholars participate in the Coastal Carolina University Undergraduate Research Competition and conduct presentations at national conferences. Some examples of Swain Scholar outreach include Eat Healthy, Play Hard, a pediatric obesity prevention program in partnership with Little River Medical Center, Biking in Kind Environments, or BIKE. Scholars created a bicycle awareness program that featured a DVD on bicycle safety for international students who come to our area each summer to work. This study was done in collaboration with the cities of Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, and Conway. Breaking SAD, Suicide and Depression. Scholars conducted research on the relationship between screen time and depression among college students, and also to raise awareness about the increasing rates of suicide on college campuses. This won third place in the undergraduate research competition at CCU. Medical and science-related graduate programs are seeking applicants who possess community health outreach experience, have the ability to interpret and present research, and who bring polished professional skills. As a result of program participation, previous Swain Scholars have had great success in being admitted to a wide variety of medical and science-related graduate programs and are now enjoying careers they are passionate about.
During each year of the program, teaching fellows at Coastal Carolina University focus on something different.
The junior experience is a way for students to learn more about cultural experiences.
This session was part of that experience.
It's just going to help us become better future teacher leaders.
The teaching fellows heard from 4 Coastal Carolina alumni.
Being exposed to all this has really, again, it's eye-opening and it's, a great opportunity.
What was special about this session was that it took place in New York City. The main reason for coming here was to go into a couple of schools.
New York City schools, public schools, have very unique progressive education models which are very different.
Experiencing various methods of teaching allows the fellows to figure out how they will conduct things when they get their own classrooms.
I'm really thankful that I've been able to come here and see all these different methods and different schools.
I feel like it's going to help me distinguish what my students need in the classroom.
Since the teaching fellows are already regularly in local schools, they can quickly put what they learn into practice.
It's good to take that back and know that I can apply that in a way that still is appropriate for Horry County schools.
Connect with each other.
Teachers who are already working know the value of being exposed to a variety of teaching methods.
The more experiences you have, the more you'll know how to take on a situation.
Kelly Shays was on the alumni panel in New York. She graduated just prior to the Teaching Fellows program starting in 2015. She is impressed with what is available to the students.
Look where they are. They're in New York, and Coastal gives their students opportunities to branch out and see the world.
Kelly knows all about those opportunities, even outside the Teaching Fellows program.
Coastal prepared me in so many different ways. It really made me learn what you put in is what you get out.
Time in the profession has only served to convince her more of the value of going to Coastal.
I know I could go anywhere with my degree from Coastal.
The alumni panel and the time in New York City schools all combined to increase the Teaching Fellows' enthusiasm.
It's just setting us all on fire to go back and make changes in our schools that we're in.
I'm excited to be able to bring that all back with me and keep that in the back of my head as I continue on with my undergrad.
200 students are accepted each year into South Carolina's General Assembly funded Teaching Fellows program. It provides up to $24,000 in funding over 4 years for each student.
The state asks for each year that they receive the fellowship that they're going to teach in South Carolina for 1 year to repay that fellowship.
Landing a Teaching Fellow spot has been quite beneficial for Kira Hamilton, who will use her history degree to teach.
Most history majors, they don't see the inside of a classroom until they're in the MAT program. So as a teaching fellow, I got to start in the classroom my freshman year.
Students give the Teaching Fellows program credit for all sorts of things.
To be quite frank, I was a person in their shell before I came to Coastal and got Teaching Fellows, but they have pushed me out of my shell.
Once selected as a teaching fellow, students can choose from 10 schools to attend, Coastal being one of those. CCU feels it is an attractive choice.
We offer so many opportunities and professional development for our Teaching Fellows.
Bringing the juniors in the program to New York each year can certainly set Coastal apart.
The WallFellows program is marketed as a 2-year leadership development program. Personally, I see it as not only something that's going to prepare us for the corporate life, but it's also learning a lot about who you are and personal development as well.
The WallFellows program to me is teaching college students how to become leaders in the real world.
It's a program that's been in place since 1994. It's focused on seminars, projects, internships, international study experiences, and coaching and mentoring one-on-one by business executives and also by myself as the director. It's 4 courses that they take with the other WallFellows, and those courses are times when we bring in executives to present to them, or we're working on projects or initiatives.
Our class is a lot of open discussion, so anyone can really chime in with information that they have.
So it's definitely not structured around PowerPoints or lectures or textbooks like every other class. It's really focused on workshops, developing connections with outside businesses that just help us gain experience and get us a better understanding of how to do our jobs when we get out of college.
The WallFellows program is largely planned and executed by the WallFellows themselves. But also we participate in actual business projects like marketing projects for a company, and specifically we've been working with companies in Iceland, so they're getting to apply the learning that they have in the classroom, and they recognize that they have contributions to make.
So definitely one thing I've learned throughout this program is just working with teams. Most for a project are team-based, and being a leader, being a team member, learning how to fill that role effectively has really helped me.
Some of the things I learned about myself in those projects is kind of how to communicate with people, developing a professional network, and also determining how best to go about prioritizing tasks. So those projects over the last 2 years have really helped me grow as a person, and I feel like I've been able to help the program as well.
A large part of the program is focused on internships. Each student's required to complete at least 6 months of internship in their career field. And we partner with a variety of companies, both domestic and international, to provide these opportunities for the students.
That's just an even better opportunity for us to be better prepared when we graduate. We're not just jumping into the workforce. The internships allow us opportunity to have already worked full-time in a company and understand what it takes to jump into full-time.
The program also consists of 2 study trips. One trip is an international trip where we work with company partners on real business consulting projects. So the other travel experience is a domestic travel experience where we choose a city in the United States and we travel as a group and they visit businesses. Most often it is a city where we have a large number of alumni located there, or it's where students would like to relocate after they graduate college. I've heard many people say about the students in the WallFellows program at the end when they get ready to graduate that it is a completely different student than when they came into the program. They blossom and they gain confidence and just grow into themselves during this program. So that's a joy for me, and it's also a joy for the others that participate.